All right, I've really had enough of this take a knee nonsense going on. It's the latest craze in virtue signaling leftists' causes that has just got to stop. As you may be surprised, even though I enjoy nerd games like Magic the Gathering, I'm actually a huge NFL fan. I've been watching this baloney about Colin Kaepernick getting benched over his political beliefs go on way too long. There's a lot of Johnny-come-latelys who think the entire reason that this dude was benched was because he kneeled during the anthem. Go ahead, take a poll of any random person virtue signaling right now, like right now. Ask him how he was playing when he last left the 49ers. Ask him how he got benched to a guy with 4 career wins in the NFL. Just ask him. People forget that this dude lost his job to Blaine Gabbert. Okay, that guy's career NFL record, 5-22 at the time. They forget that the guy signed a $100 million plus contract, although it was team friendly, with $40 to $60 million something in guarantees, and was completely inept for several years after taking the team on his historic run that got him paid. Okay? People think it's like you talk to a lot of these people who are talking about kneeling during the anthem. Fine, do whatever you want. I don't care. You have every right to do it. I have every right to turn off the TV if I don't want to see it, right? That's how it works. And if you look at the ratings of the NFL, which continue to go down, you look at the ratings of ESPN, which continue to go down, I prefer to let the open market decide. And the market does not want to see that crap. The market doesn't want to see multimillionaires kneeling during our national anthem. The market doesn't want to see a man who got paid $100 million complain that he's getting blackballed, okay? Because he's not. The fact of the matter is, if he was good enough, he would have a job. The list is miles long of NFL players who have had major legal problems, and they still get paid. If you expect me to believe that the 32 NFL owners out there who care nothing more than winning, okay? These guys all want to win a Super Bowl. If any one of them thought that Colin Kaepernick was a better option for them to win a Super Bowl, they would sign him. Let me give you a couple of examples, okay? Do you remember when Mike Vick was the hotness and he was, the best thing since sliced bread? He had a huge $100 million contract. Oh, whoops. And then he got arrested and went to federal prison for killing dogs and running a dog fighting scheme, right? A dog fighting ring. Remember that? Remember how he was blackballed by the NFL after he served his time in prison? Nope. Got a starting job with the Philadelphia Eagles. The list of NFL players who are arrested for domestic violence that continue to get drafted in the NFL draft and continue to get starting jobs in the NFL only further prove the fact that NFL ownerships will take the best available player. It's regardless of the baggage with them. If Colin Kaepernick was the truth, okay, if he was somebody's path to the Super Bowl, he would be on an NFL team. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. If Mike Vick can get a $40 million contract after drowning dogs that lost dog fights and getting convicted and sent to prison, this isn't about the distraction. It's about his ability to play. I don't see him out there raising his hand saying, I'll play for the league minimum. Someone give me a chance. If he said that, can someone point me to that? Because I'd be curious to see if he's willing to play for the veterans minimum just to get on an NFL roster. Or is he fine just with his $40 million in guarantees that he got from the 49ers and completely screwed them out of 2 years? Okay, if you look at this guy's NFL rating, for a quarterback rating, okay? I constantly hear this argument. Oh, he's better than a third of the starting quarterbacks out there. Well, in 2016, or 2015, let's say, before he got benched, his quarterback rating in 9 games was 78.5. In 2014, it was 86.4. Now, in 2016, he did have an okay quarterback rating of 90.7. 16 touchdowns of 4 picks. That's not too bad. But he has had some monstrously bad games. There was a game against the Bears where he was benched in the 3rd quarter after giving up, after having less than 10 passing yards. 1 of 5 passes completed for 4 yards. That's what Colin Kaepernick brings an NFL team. He also brings them a boatload of distractions, okay? Unfortunately, it's just like all these people that like to cause trouble protesting that say, or they'll use people's free speech and say, well, free speech isn't free of consequence. Well, unfortunately, it looks like one of two things is true. Either 32 teams in the NFL think this guy's not worth it, or they're just so stubborn that they don't want to sign a guy because he kneeled during the anthem. Meanwhile, a man on my Green Bay Packers team, Martellus Bennett, has a job. He's got a job. He protests during the anthem. There's a player in Seattle that protests during the anthem. There are plenty of players on the payrolls that protest during every anthem. This is not about that. The left wants to make this about that, right? People who have outrage culture in their veins want to think that Colin Kaepernick is just, you know, if he would just get a chance, he would lead a team to the promised land. But if you actually watched football, if you are actually a fan of the NFL, you know this guy was terribad the last 2 years. The team gave him a huge contract and he shit the bed, which is not uncommon for a lot of NFL players and MLB players because of guaranteed contracts. It's a risk in sports. Maybe owners are like, dang, dude, that dude got $100 million and he stopped playing well. Throwing some of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life. He played the Packers several times while he was having his down season. He also shredded the Packers. When he was at the top of his game, he was good. But this is the thing with all mobile quarterbacks. They're good for a few years, then the NFL figures out how to cover them, and then they fade away. This happens every couple of years. Maybe he should have spent less time protesting and more time learning how to throw from the pocket, or adapting his game to stay employed so he could still have a large voice. I mean, this guy, I got nothing against him. Wisconsin guy, from Wisconsin, from my home state. You know, I don't like that he kneels during the anthem, but it's also his right. My problem is with people assuming that NFL owners wouldn't give a guy a chance. Just look, last year alone, there are over 30 players in the NFL arrested, most of them still employed. There are guys that used to smoke crack. Michael Irvin. Look, I know a lot of these left-leaning people don't take any time. You know, they probably don't have time for sports or they're not interested in it. But actually look at the balls this man threw in his last 2 years in the NFL, and you will know exactly why he doesn't have a job. He stunk.